Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, this is your other
Oh,
gorgeous, follically challenged black bald man here.
Mr.
It's
Ainsley
Ainsley. How are you,
Harriott!
dude? How are you,
How
darling?
are you, my darling? Thank you so... Oh, my
Well, I
God!
had to. I just had to. And we're also kind of upside down this morning with the clocks going
I
forward and everything
know.
else. But we don't care. And I just said, no, it's my woman, man. I'm so proud of you. You know, you're just you're just there. You're just doing it. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
thank you
And
so
I'm going to
much.
share with you. And then
Well,
you
it's
start
people
talking
like...
about cornmeal and all them things.
What's your way? What's your way of making cornmeal, Mr. Ainsley?
Well, do you know what? My dad used to put all his spices and everything. Everyone's talking about putting their nutmeg and their cinnamon and everything. He used to put his spices in the night before, and I don't know why, but it
Really?
just to cut. Yeah, and because normally we just wake up and we just throw everything in there and cook it down and very very slowly. The idea is a slow cook because it's like grits in America or
It
something,
is,
isn't it?
yeah. It is.
It's one of those things you can't rush it. You just have to let it very gently simmer. And it's almost like doing a slow reggae dance to Jimmy Cliff or something, you know?
Pandiwal.
Yes.
Pandiwal. And you need good food like that. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day and I was saying, girl, you know when you got that good man and then
I know.
afterwards you just say to him, babes, I want to cook you down some oxtail. There's only certain people,
I
partners,
know.
that you
And
can
do
stand
about make it boil. Cook it slower.
You have to cook it for 5 hours so that it's succulent, you know?
I know, absolutely. And the meat just found, and the bones always look like they're prehistoric, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't care. It looks like you've just discovered some prehistoric monster or something. 'Cause those bones got odd shape, wouldn't they?
What's your favorite Sunday meal, would you say?
I kind of, I think it's so seasonal, isn't it? For all of us, Judy, when we think about how we want to eat in the winter compared to the summer,
Yeah.
and it was really interesting how when you're, on the phone to your last guest and talked about being lactose intolerant and
Kelly,
stuff like that. Life has changed for so many of us now. We have to kind of identify, and we can't eat all that rich food all the time.
Yeah.
Even though it reminds us of yesteryear, what our grandmothers used to make, or indeed, when my age, it's what my mum used to make, a beautiful sort of red pea stew and all that type of stuff. I used to love all of that wintry kind of home comfort foods.
And the difference is we don't even have the sun here to burn out the fat. It's not the same.
Exactly. I've got to go walk kind of thing. You know, you can't go out and do anything now. But I just imagine I kind of still love a traditional, like it's Sunday today, I love a traditional roast. I love the idea. And I think it's all the smells. For instance, you kind of impregnate your meat or your chicken, whatever you're doing, you're marinating it the day before, putting in some lovely flavours and stuff like that. And so when it does go into the oven or when it does go into the pot and starts to cook, it kind of permeates the way through the house. And you kind of know it's Sunday food,
yes.
you know?
I tell you what, I think about, going pescatarian and stuff like that. But the one thing I would find really hard to give up, which I don't eat often, but it's like my little treat, is lamb. Oh, I love a lamb.
It's a sweet meat, isn't it? It's a sweet meat. And I've got to say, I was talking about it the other day because when I was doing my med thing around Sardinia and stuff, I said to the guys up there, these so-called shepherds and stuff, they don't look like shepherds. We're kind of expecting a shepherd to be in a white cloak, looking like our Lord or something like that. These guys walk around in leather jackets and stuff like that now, because it's just different. Times are kind of moved forward. But I was talking to them and I was saying, why does this lamb taste so different? And of course, the sheep up there, there's more sheep in Sardinia than there is in than people.
Really?
And an amazing amount of sheep. People don't realise. And it's the second largest island in the Mediterranean, so it's not surprising. It's a very, very big place. But I tell you what, though, Judy, the taste was so different because the sheep graze on the surrounding countryside, and of course there's lots of herbs and stuff growing, all these robust herbs, and that's what they're eating, and and it gives it a totally different flavour. And so
still when a sweet kind of flavour, or
Well, it's the sweetness, but it's almost like if they graze on the bush of the rosemary, you get that rosemary flavour coming through.
Wow.
So you get all these wild herbs that are growing in the hills of Sardinia, and that's what they're grazing on, that's what they're eating. And so it comes out, it's almost like us. If we yum too much garlic, everything to us garlic.
Thinking of these beautiful places, Sardinia, the Caribbeans, all these flavours. You've got a new show coming out, haven't you?
Yeah,
Ainsley's
well,
Food We Love.
ooh,
Ooh.
and it was quite interesting because it was we were hitting on subjects like Granny's favourites. Each week there's a different theme. Like one week it's the life of pie, and another week it's al fresco dining, and it's all about grannies. And what's really lovely is you can have a guest come on, or just me, just talking about reliving those moments.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's coming out on the 10th of April, and I think it's about 11:30 in the morning, ITV1, and it's just me sort of cooking at home. And we've all been in that situation where we've been sort of confined to our houses, and it's just nice to be able to sit around and chat with a few people about it, and just a few homely things coming through, and we're all like that. When we get home, that was so lovely. Just talking earlier to people about your cornmeal and stuff like that. It's a homely thing, and her little son was waiting there, looking at her, thinking, "Why isn't it ready yet, Mummy?"
Yeah.
And we all have that. I used to put evaporated milk on top of mine.
Yes.
I used to like that taste, but
Well, I'm looking forward to Saturday's show every Saturday from the 10th of April, because I feel like Saturday mornings is that time. It's cartoons and it's food that you cook, and I love the way you make food so vibrant. That's what we love about you. That's what I inspired by you. When I did Celebrity MasterChef, I definitely thought of people like yourself, Ainsley Harriott and his food, and just how you brought the Caribbean food but blended with the British food and internationally, and just really educated people about spices and adding your own twist on it and not being frightened of food. Was that the message you wanted, or do you feel...
I think so, Jud. I think that's all through my career, it's been just trying to inspire people not be frightened. I think we did grow up at a time where you didn't want to waste, and you wasted an egg, you get a lick of buck. What you doing? Don't mash up the thing, man. What with you?
Don't waste it. Eat it.
Exactly. Don't waste it at all. And it's. And I've just wanted people to sort of come out of that kind of that little closet of fear that they have in the kitchen and say, go for it, have a bit of a go. And we've become so international now. We like to embrace or to take on new flavours from around the world. And I've been really fortunate, really lucky to be able to travel to places and share with people. Say, come on, have a bit of a go. And, and of course, even the Mediterranean season program comes out on the 20th of April. So that's like 10 days later on ITV1. That's a prime time show.
That's your show.
Yeah, you're morning. That's every
Wait, let me get the pen. Hold on a minute. So we have Ainsley's Food We Love on the 10th of April on a Saturday at what time? 11:30.
I think it's the 10th and it's 11:30
on ITV. And then we have Ainsley's Mediterranean
Cookbook, and that comes out on the 20th of April, and that's a Tuesday evening at 7:30 on ITV1.
Okay, listen, you guys ain't got no excuse, as he said, for this beautiful Caribbean-born man to be in your living rooms. You've got Saturdays from the 10th of April at 11:30, and you've got Tuesdays from the 20th of April at 7 p.m. Get the spice, learn. Can I ask you, Ainsley, before I let you go, right? So I've come from the big plate of rice and pasta, and we have the rice and the mac cheese. What is the alternative I could use that's a little bit more healthier, a little less carb to go with the food? Because I find these days, maybe because we've been in the pandemic for the year, I'm not wanting to cook as much. I just want to make something quick. The kids are so surprised I'm making jacket potato for dinner. I mean, they're shocked with me, but I just want something quick that's not as heavy and better for the health.
Well, I think you should go down the sort of bulgur wheat route. I
Right.
know I'm famous for my couscous and stuff like that. All these type of grains that are really kind of good, and they're not so stodgy.
Yeah.
And what I do like about them is that once you sort of pre-soak them, some do require a little bit of like if you start getting into some of your pulses and stuff like that, then you have to soak it to overnight to remove the toxins before you cook it. But a
Right.
lot of the grains, especially something like the bulgur wheat or the couscous and something like that, great because you can add things to it.
Right.
People say, "Oh, it's a little bit bland," and I'm saying, "Sorry, potato is bland until you put your butter and your salt and pepper and stuff in it.
Yes.
Rice is a bit bland until you hit it with a few spices and stuff like that. Everything is bland because that's the base of everything. But then you can incorporate loads of herbs and spices. I like roasting off things like, for instance, your butternut squash or your pumpkin or something like that. Easy. Dice it up, toss it in a little bit of light oil, salt and pepper. Put it into the oven. If you want to put some crushed garlic or a bit of oregano or something on it, roast it in the oven. It don't take long.
Yeah.
You know, an oven of 180, 200 degrees. It's only going to take 15, 20 minutes in there, and then you can fold that through your couscous or your bulgur wheat. You know, you can, and the kids will absolutely love it. It gives it a different texture,
Yes.
and if you turn the oven up a little bit more, it's gonna brown off a little bit more, so you get kind of slightly toffee taste around your butternut squash when it's roasted. I really love that, and then you can sort of incorporate other, if it's in the oven, bits of broccoli or something like that. We all want to
Yeah.
get
More
our kids a
healthy.
little bit healthy. A little bit of kale, just put it into your wok or something like that, and just toss that through. Then put your butternut squash in there. Kale, butternut squash. You can suddenly see what I'm talking about now. Some of the grains, some of your favourite grains, toss through it
You've got a
too.
beautiful
Absolutely.
dish.
Well, you've got a healthy dish, and it's kind of, and I think we're all now wanting to sort of feed our families a little bit better. I think one of the things lockdown has given us is it's kind of slowed us down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's not like put on your damn clothes and I said we have to go work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
It's just slowed us down a little
Yeah.
bit and made us have a little bit more time with the kids. Yes, there's been it's been very frustrating for a lot of us, and sometimes it can be a bit overbearing. But you know what? You come out the other side and you're bonding all the
And that's
time.
what we're
Whether you're
doing. We
bonding in
are
the
bond.
kitchen,
We are.
we're just kind of bonding with each other. And it's like we've only been a few times together on the radio, but we bond.
Bond.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you get that with people. You get that energy, don't you, Jude?
Yeah.
And
You
it's
do.
it really
And it's
it's so
lovely. I
lovely.
mean, I'm just overwhelmed with joy. Before I let you go, can I ask you, because I've been saying to people, what makes you appreciate life? What is the thing that stops you for that moment and make you think, you know what? I just appreciate being here, having this. I appreciate. What is the stuff that stops you in your tracks and makes you just appreciate?
Um, I think the seasons do that for me. I think when you kind of, even now we see that sun come out, and I've got a dog, and I take my dog for a walk in the park, and I suddenly see the daffodils popping up and stuff like that. You know, it's the seasons. It's knowing that you're alive and you're heading towards the summer. I think stuff like that just keeps you focused.
Yes.
We all like sitting around a coal fire sometimes, or just kind of catching that moment of winter. But we get bored with that quite quickly because we've been so sort of stuck inside. So I think that's what kind of motivates me. I think also I was saying to a friend the other day, I can't wait at that point when we can see each other smile again.
I know.
With black people, we love to, we've
Laugh.
got a laughter. It comes from the belly. It just kind of raises and it comes up through the body. And, we've been with mask and everything. We've been denied that a bit,
Yeah.
Jude.
Yeah.
That's something that, and I want to see people smile again. I like to see people's teeth. I like to,
Yeah.
because that's the way I am. I'm that type. I want someone to reciprocate the warmth that I'm giving out, and that kind of shields us a little bit from
It
it.
does. Well, I tell you what, Ainsley, when my one-woman show starts up, hopefully at the end of the year, you will have your guest tickets, my darling. And we are going to see your teeth.
On this couch and talk to you.
Listen, this has been a beautiful surprise. I cannot thank you enough. I'd say you're definitely someone that's been inspiring to me, that I've looked at on TV and felt the joy, felt the love, had the nostalgia. I've seen you, watched you with my mum, which brings back so much memories. And the fact that we can connect on these things and just seeing you out there, just being your authentic self, it's just something that contributes to me.
Ditto, Jude. The
Thank
same
you
with
so
me,
much.
babe. Love
Much
you.
love
Love
to you.
you.
You too,
Love
baby.
you.
Love you too, baby.
Love is in the air. Love is in the air. I love you, darling.
You too, boo. Bye, babe.
Bye, darling.
Wow.